A project is a specific task undertaken to create something new. Every project has objectives that must be achieved for the project to be successful. A project has a clearly defined beginning and end in addition to a number of constraints, including the time limit, a budget, and limited resources in terms of people and materials. When the original objectives have been accomplished, the project is complete. Project management consists of planning, scheduling, directing, and controlling resources for a defined task. These resources include human, financial, and technological. Project management involves the methods and disciplines used to define goals, plan and monitor tasks and resources, identify and resolve issues, and control cost and budgets for a specific project. Some of the tools to assist with project management include the following. Project schedule, a detailed description of the tasks to be completed. For each project activity, the schedule describes the resources to be used and the expected completion dates. Project milestone, a critical date for the completion of a major component of the project. Typical milestones in system development are design, coding, testing, and implementation. Project deadline, the date when the entire project should be completed and implemented. Specific procedures have been developed for a number of very specific project management tools. Typically, these are implemented using project management software. 3 specific tools are Gantt charts, Program Evaluation and Review Technique, or Pert, and Critical Path Analysis. Each of these will be described in a bit more detail. A Gantt chart is a graphical tool used to support project management. The chart is essentially a grid or table that lists activities and deadlines. Each activity is listed on a single row of the grid. The columns of the grid represent time periods, such as weeks, months, quarters, or a whole year. Horizontal bars are used to indicate the start and end date for each activity. The term Gantt is a tribute to Henry Gantt, who came up with the idea to represent a project schedule in the form of a chart in 1910. This tool is used to plan future project activities, but also to keep track of progress. It is common to develop a Gantt chart for the entire project in advance and then update the chart as different project activities get underway and completed. This makes it possible to see which activities are on track and which ones are not. Program Evaluation and Review Technique, or Pert, is a formalized approach to developing a project schedule. It is also sometimes called Project Evaluation and Review Technique. For each activity, this approach includes 3 time estimates: shortest possible time, most likely time, and longest possible time. A formula is then applied to come up with a single PERT time estimate. These formulas are often based on prior experience with similar tasks in other projects. PERT also includes identifying which tasks depend on each other. Certain tasks can only be started once others have been completed, while other tasks can occur simultaneously. These task dependencies are then used in the analysis of critical paths described below. The results of PERT can be represented in a table that lists each project activity, its duration, and its dependencies. This table can be used as the source information for a Gantt chart. PERT is like a modern version of the original Gantt chart. A typical project consists of many activities. Some of these take place in sequence, and some of these take place simultaneously. Some activities are very critical in the sense that if they get delayed, the entire project gets delayed. The critical path method, or CPM, examines all those activities that, if delayed, would delay the entire project. This involves identifying dependencies among project activities, like which activities are sequential or which activities can take place simultaneously. In the example diagram shown here, activities A, C, and D have to take place in sequence. Activity C cannot start until activity A has been completed, and activity D cannot start until activity C has been completed. On the other hand, activities A and B can take place simultaneously and do not depend on each other. However, activity C cannot start until activity B has also been completed. Activity C depends on both activities A and B, which take 3 and 5 weeks respectively. How soon can activity C start? After 5 weeks from the start, which is the longest duration of the activities that it depends upon. That means a slight delay in activity A will not have an effect on the overall project's durations, but any delay in activity B has a direct impact. The critical path from the start, therefore, is BC. Continuing this logic results in a critical path of BCD, which is estimated to take 14 weeks total. Any delay in these activities will result in the delay of the entire project. Gantt charts, PERT, and CPM are implemented using project management software. You provide the details on the project activities, and the software tool will help you organize the charts and diagrams. Widely used project management software applications include Project by Microsoft, Primavera by Oracle, and Clarity by CA Technologies. Project management software is also referred to as Project and Portfolio Management, or PPM, where portfolio represents a collection of related projects. Project management consists of planning, scheduling, directing, and controlling resources for a defined task. A Gantt chart is a graphical tool used to support project management. Program evaluation and review technique is a formalized approach to developing a project schedule. The critical path method examines all the activities that, if delayed, would delay the entire project. Gantt charts, Pert, and CPM are implemented using project management software.